Hi there, and welcome back to the History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to get into episode 3 of volume 12 of my Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac Scrapbook, continuing on with Other Side of the Mirror. And first off, I'm going to start with a really great couple portraits that I got. Actually, this first one, there's one that starts this little section I'm going to show you and one that ends this. But this was a really great picture, a copy of a photo, but a professionally made one from inside, I want to say the tour book. I want to say this is in the tour book. And there's a really nice fan that I have begun to speak with, and unfortunately, I'm not as able to keep in touch with them as much as I'd like. It seems like we communicate for a long period of time and then kind of don't talk after a while. But then I got this photo from them, and the other one I'm going to show you at the end. This is a really cool article on Stevie performing at the Blossom Music Center in Cuyahoga Falls. Not sure where that is at. Stevie Nicks was with Billy Falcon on this stop. And this was I also thought I did a great page here. I really liked all the little hearts and little pieces, little pictures, which again, a lot of these are copies of things out of the tour book. The Other Side of the Mirror tour book, like on some of the playing cards, and I think some of these are outtakes from that. These were in a fan's scrapbook. I think that they maybe just got them off the internet myself, because I see little Herbert Worthington watermarks on there. And they're tiny, like little mini playing cards or something like that. But this was a nice write-up on Stevie, a very positive review on her show. And then I think the remainder of that article is here. Really nice press kit photo that I got, as you know, you'd seen in one of my earlier videos. I'm pretty sure, maybe it's in this one of the large 11 by 17 or 11 by 14 photos from Herbert Worthington. I think this was one of the cards. This was a photo purchased from Winco, which I brought up, and I swear I'll do a dedicated video to someday. And I think that they just mass produce these themselves, put their own cool little, curly Q font at the bottom and sold them. But what did I know in 1989? Because I was buying feverishly from that place at that time. And this was a press kit photo. Came out around the same time. A real one, though. And like I said, I think the remainder of that article on Stevie's performance. And then this was the other photo that went with this one here that I got from that fan. Really nice to have this in such a full, and it's a real heavy paper. Really, really nicely done. And this one, there is the outtake of this that's on the Has Anyone Ever Written Anything For You 45. But then this picture is also featured on the back of the Reflections, which was the promo record that came out in advance of Other Side of the Mirror. And it was reflections from the other side of the mirror. It was like a Q&A, and this photo is on that. Otherwise, I think that's the only other place I've seen the photo. I don't remember it in the tour book. Possibly it is. The fact remains, and what I'm trying to get to is it's really nice to have a large print copy of it like this. These were some really cool photos. Another fan, when I got started on eBay in the early days, like in 98 to 2000, I'd say, there was a seller, and I want to be nice. I still want to be nice. Just somebody who sold stuff on eBay, sold their photos, but like almost resented the fact that they sold them. Like they weren't happy about the fact that they sold them. And so trying to make deals with them, trying to get the photos out of them after you purchase them was a problem. I'm very talkative. I'm very outgoing, and tried to instigate trade or a friendship with them, and not interested. Just fine. To each their own. It's not about that, but But at the same time, it wasn't just standoffish, or maybe and like some people don't communicate well or don't people well. This person was just icy, just super super icy, and But I remember getting these pictures from them eons ago. And I mean, a long, long time ago. And I remember the first time I saw pictures of this, there was a bootleg CD that came out from Other Side of the Mirror, Cloaks and Daggers. And inside were pictures from this time, Stevie holding the candle, which was phenomenal. That is such a cool picture. But yeah, there were, I remember getting a couple of these, and I think there might be a couple more here. But these two in particular, I remember getting from that fan. Possibly this one. See, I'm wearing, an homage to Stevie. I feel like this is my little Princess Eugenie hat or something. It's big. It's a big old flower. I love headbands and I love autumn type stuff. But this one is really, I'm channeling my autumn Stevie here. It's just a bunch extra. We call that extra. Like that hat is extra. This one's a cute picture here. Then this is a copy of a ticket that, once upon a time I used to have. And this is from the Shoreline Amphitheater. And this is Sunday, October 22nd, 1989. Now, if you went back to my prior videos, when I was talking about Stevie being in concert, it said that she would be at Shoreline or something like that. I don't even know where I put that piece of paper. That she would be at the Shoreline on the 20th, I want to say. Maybe that was Sacramento. Anyway, this is a ticket stub, a copy of that. I just found it and was super happy to see one. The one that I had, the original one, didn't look like this. It had the full-on Bass Ticketron. This is a really cool ticket that you probably would have gotten directly from the Shoreline, what with their logo and everything on it. But yeah, just to kind of commemorate that because I was at that show. These pictures, I'm pretty sure I might have gotten from Purple Moon long time ago. This is just an 8x10 I purchased probably on eBay or in a group of photos. I thought it was very clever. This was scrapbook paper with this moon, so I kind of like cut it out in these two parts to kind of lay over the picture. So clever and genius. And continue with that cleverness. This is more paper. So if you'd seen that, I cut all that out. This all laid flat, and I cut it out to kind of pick up and then put all the photos underneath it. Beautiful, right? Like I said, I'm pretty sure that I got these photos. That small one, maybe, but again, maybe this one and this one, again, from Purple Moon at one point. This one, as you can see, is kind of, it's not buggered, that's the plastic, but it's super overexposed, but a really cool shot of Stevie. And I have a lot more like this in the time space era. There's ones which that might even go with. I think it goes with Other Side of the Mirror, but for me and Stevie, literally 88 through 91 live Stevie, total blur. It is so hard for me to pick out. I'm probably better, and I'm not saying that's true, probably better at picking out Stevie live in like 77 to 78 than I am picking out Stevie in this time. It's just lots of big coats, big hair. Some of these stand out clearly, obviously, from Other Side of the Mirror in that time. But, 88, 89, then you got Time Space, you got Behind the Mask, then Time Space. It just, yeah. They all look very similar to me. Some more little, now these actually, again, are wrong. You should go with Time Space. What are you going to do? This was a really cool drawing. I think I have, do I still have the original? I might. Something I got from a street vendor one time in Berkeley. I was at a record store in Berkeley on Telegraph Avenue, and I walked out and I'm like, what the hell? I was just completely so stoked to see that somebody had done a Stevie drawing. So this might be it. No, I think I copied this. I might still have the original somewhere, but I think I made it. And if I do, I need to give that to somebody because I just, I would have wanted it to go in the scrapbook anyway. If it doesn't fit in here anymore, it's just kind of getting to that point in my life where I just really am paring down, mostly because I have to. And also, like I said, I really enjoy looking through these photo albums. But like I have a lot of posters. I was thinking about my posters again the other day. I sold a lot of posters, but I still have quite a bit of posters. And one of they're sitting there under my bed in a flat box, so they stay safe. And, but they're not being enjoyed. And, basically the photo wise, I have that photo somewhere in the scrapbook somewhere. But if it's a poster that I don't have the photo of, I need to just take a picture of it and then sell it or give it to somebody else who will enjoy it. If, I will never have enough space on walls. I'd have to buy the Winchester Mystery House. Maybe not quite that bad, but that close to be able to put up everything I would like to put up of not just Stevie. Obviously, first and foremost is Stevie, Fleetwood Mac, but then all the other crap that I have. So yeah, so those are those. And then this one was, are we on that page yet? No, this is a really cool, again, card that I got 2 copies of because I'm that nut. This is the front of the card, and it was just a promotional postcard, and this is back of it. And it's just really neat. It was just a hype postcard about the release of it. Now, these pictures I spoke about. Why did I speak about these and why am I bringing it up now? So I had met a young lady at the Fleetwood Mac dress rehearsal for Say You Will. And I befriended her, and I know, I talked about this with the Polaroids. If you go back and watch that video, and this young lady had these pictures and then some other pictures of Stevie with the cape type or jacket cape type thing she wears on the cover of the Time Space Tour book. Kind of has almost kind of spiky shoulders. And she sent these to me. She sent me a couple copies of these different ways, and all of them are kind of no, they're not overexposed. They're just like hugely tinted. They're real photographs, but they all have a hue to them. And they're so incredible. I've seen a couple people have them online in like larger quality. These are small. I mean, I guess they could be enlarged. But now they're a little bit grainy. But I mean, you talk about such beautiful photos. I would love to see more of these. And that young lady, I unfortunately, again, just one of those people that, I go out of my way to keep in touch with people, but I also have my moments where I'm like, just, MIA for 2 years and then come right back to people like, hey, so what happened? Like we just talked yesterday. Maybe that's what happened with her. I'm not so sure. This is kind of before, 2003, that would have been obviously clearly in the internet time, but I'm not sure that we exchanged emails or just maybe addresses or something. So maybe it was a situation like that. Pen paling was never my strong point. Some really nice passes from that time, and this is a really beautiful photo, Stevie. One of the prettier live photos, I think, from this time. This was another insert type thing from one of those magazines, the like Columbia House or something like that. I think later in the book, I might have finally gotten an original. This is an old page. So I know that I had just a Xerox from somebody. And then these are really kind of unique, cool pictures. No, not really unseen or uncirculated, but kind of cool. Get my ugly thumb out of there. So yeah, so that'll do it for this episode. Coming up, we have, it looks like to me, a lot of live shots. Oh, and then my super, are we getting into my Alice time here? See where we're going here. Nah, not quite yet. Some really unique live photos though, which we'll talk about next time. And the debate will go on with us, between us, internally as to who they're taken by. But come back and join me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time. Have a great night. Bye.